Hi guys. Hello, hello. All right, so this is going to be a today's topic video. It is going to be for the 26th of March, and let's go ahead and see where this takes us. By the way, guys, just for at least a time period right now when my life is super busy, I'm no longer doing the I would always choose somebody once a week to get a free read with me, one of my subscribers. I'm not doing it that way anymore just because it doesn't fit into my schedule very well. Instead, I will be going live. Spoiler alert, it'll probably be somewhere around this weekend. It'll be when I can squeeze it in, either this weekend or Monday. I'm not sure if it'll be Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, but somewhere right in there, I'll actually go live and do more than just one free reading for a subscriber. So if you guys like my storytelling, yes, I will be doing some that are just like, create a personal story. It won't be about you, but it'll be for you if you are one of the recipients of that. And so I'll probably go live for, kind of a prolonged amount of time, and we'll just see how many I can squeeze in. And yeah, so as always, keep your notification bells turned on, stay subscribed, and I will see you guys somewhere in the next, like I say, in the next 3 days or so. It just depends on my schedule. All right, so here we go. We've got card number 40. There's something here about time, as I say. Time is of the essence, right? But you notice how we have time that is not actually encapsulated. Time transcends this. This kind of is a little bit of a mind bender because we think that, we can say all those things, time waits for no man and time is running out and time is on our side. But ultimately, even though we have an hourglass, you notice how it's actually dripping through her fingers here. Almost, and really the glow of this is scattered all around behind it as well. It's almost like it's kind of it kind of says we're not out of time at all. It actually says that might be a construct in our own mind. So if somebody has been saying, I'm getting old, no, they're not getting old. That's in their mind. Don't prematurely age ourselves, right? I mean, do we all have a biological aging process? Yes. And do we gain wisdom? Yes. But are we like old? Like, oh, this is something that is like negative or outdated or something like that? No, not at all. Instead, it's like looking at time in a more spiritual sense and recognizing that we have plenty of time. We have plenty of time to grow. We've been growing all this time. We have been like changing and creating. Like I'll even say this, to me, this is looking like somebody is being gently urged to remember that, well, if you look closely, hang on, we did get one card out here too. Four of Pentacles. But if you notice, she has like some, I'll just say some forehead jewelry, but it's reminiscent of like, concentrating on the third eye. Like we've been following our intuition all along, which has been what has guided us through every step of the way in our life, how we've chosen to evolve, what we've chosen to learn. We take as long as we take to learn lessons. It's not like there's this finite amount of time where it's like, if I don't get this lesson learned by then, oh crap, I'm going to be too old to still mature into some new way of thinking. If someone doesn't figure it out by now, then there's no way that they can. This says, it kind of challenges us to think about that. We've got a Four of Pentacles here. In this case, because we do have a situation where this is what is a blockage. We have actually like a bridezilla here who's holding on to this little dude, and she's dangling him right here on the side of that building. It says bank. It's as if there is this concept of a blockage, though. When we can't see beyond the blockage, that's why we stay in a situation, and that is where we would be wasting time. If the blockage is actually unnecessary. See, Three of Swords in the reverse and the Ace of Swords in the reverse. To me, this looks like someone hasn't yet recognized that they can get themselves unstuck. This does not have to be a heartbreak. They can get themselves out of this. Ooh, that's great. But how? How are they to get themselves out of this? We've got a Queen of Wands and we got a Nine of Cups. Leave. Get on that ship and go right toward the person that their heart wants. That's all they have to do. Being stuck That would be like, okay, my dog Aries, this is hilarious. He, I don't know why he did this one day, but he walked halfway over, it was like a clothesline that was like almost on the ground. It was so, hanging so low. And he's kind of a stubby dog. They're not real tall dogs. But he walked over it. And then because he could actually feel it touching his belly, in his mind, he was stuck. And so he stood there and he yelled and yelled for me to come and help him get rescued. And I came out and I was like, dude, you're not stuck. You got over it with the first legs. I know it's touching your tummy, but you could literally, it's just a thread anyway, you could knock it down. But it was hilarious. And I had to like show him that he wasn't stuck. It was more that something about like he couldn't believe that this thing was touching his tummy, and why, and was he restrained? It was very funny. And I've seen him, he's done that like 2 different times where he imagined he was stuck and he would yell for me to come get him. And he has a very different bark when he believes he's stuck. One time he really was, and then the other 2 times he was not at all, but it was the same bark all 3 times. So he doesn't know the difference yet as to real stuck versus pretend stuck. But that's what this is. This person is not, this is like somebody is saying, well, I want all this money from you. All he has to say is, no. Sorry, you're not getting it. Why would you get to say that you get this and you get that and I just have to give it to you? That's like a bully in the schoolyard who keeps saying, I'm going to take your lunch. No, you're not. I'm going to go tell the teacher that you keep trying to take my lunch, and then they're going to not let you do that and you can't have it. It's a little bit like that. They can free themselves by literally freeing themselves, moving onward. And so there is an illusion here that, oh my gosh, I'm stuck. How long will this be? So much time is passing. And all of this says, no, they just need to go ahead and make a decision and think about things differently. Don't concentrate on negativity. Think about how you are a free and sovereign person and you have a right to move on. And it doesn't have to be a missed opportunity with this Queen of Wands. Go toward the Queen of Wands. Go toward the life that you want to live. Go toward the thing that you really want. 7 of Cups. And they're like, but I don't know what's going to happen. What if the Queen of Wands doesn't want me? Well, there's no guarantees in life ever. But the one thing is, the big message here is, if a character is miserable in a situation, they just have to ask themselves, then why am I still here? I mean, okay, is there a legality? Is there something that literally, there are things where people are really stuck in. But remember, this is a fictional story about a fictional character. And it's just posing the question of something that they haven't thought to pose to themselves, which is, why do I think that I'm stuck just because this person is telling me what I'm not allowed to do? What I want to say right now is my mom's favorite words. You're not the boss of me. If this person were to stop and pose for just a minute and be like, now wait a minute, you're telling me I can't do this. You're telling me you're in charge of this. You're telling me you're going to direct what I'm allowed to do, what I'm supposed to give you. You're not the boss of me. I feel like that's what this boils down to. Just very, very simple. Sometimes all it takes is a how do I want to say this? Like a power shift, right? But the power shift sometimes has to come from the one person who goes, I've been letting you push me around. Why I do that? I don't do that anymore. No, you're not pushing me around. In fact, I'm outie. I got a Queen of Wands that I can feel. I can feel that heat emanating from her heart. She keeps a fire glowing for me. That's who I love. That's where I'm going. It doesn't matter that someone else says you can't, you're not allowed to. I want your money. And it does really feel like this is just somebody saying, but I want your money. Well, I don't care. You can't have it. Or you can keep the money. Go ahead. But I'm moving on. And I don't know what'll happen with the Queen of Wands, but I darn sure know I don't want to have a missed opportunity and think that this was, live my life in a 4 of Cups vibe. Why would I live my life in a 4 of Cups? So I think this person is going to go toward their Queen of Wands. What is the turning point? Why did they suddenly, Wheel of Fortune in the reverse? Well, the turning point is they've been stuck for far too long. So this was actually, it was about, maybe somebody thought okay, they said I needed to do this, and then at a certain time I would be freed. Whoever this is, and I don't want to make this a story where it's like some mean ex-wife or somebody told this dude that your money isn't your own. I don't ever like stories to be that simplistic, because then it makes it so narrow visioned. But going off of the imagery that we see, we do see a bridezilla, right? We do see somebody hanging on to a little dude here by the bank. But maybe it's a situation where, look, that kind of making a character feel beholden to another. I mean, heck, bosses can make people feel like they have to work all that overtime. And it's like, but I already am the best worker here. I put in so much energy, and somehow the boss can still make me feel like I'm the one who has to do it. And then this whole storyline says, now wait a minute, let's not blame the boss, because remember, it doesn't matter how somebody wants to try to make us feel. We have to exercise our own personal power enough to say, why would I let anybody make me feel a certain way? Maybe it's actually me who is allowing myself to feel this way. And it's me who can change that energy dynamic just by simply saying, why am I feeling guilty about this? Why am I feeling like I have to listen? Why am I allowing myself to feel pressured? I mean, unless there was real coercion, but we just don't see that in this story. So I'm not going down that road. I'm not going to say that that doesn't happen sometimes, and that's, incredibly unfair and not right. But I'm not telling a story about that. I'm telling a story based off of what we see here. And it says our lead character has always had the power to walk away. They just really didn't know it yet. They and sometimes, we have to stay under someone's thumb long enough that we get, maybe they set like a goalpost and they said, okay, once you stay with me for another year and you pay off this debt with me, then we can separate. Well, they paid off that debt. They waited the year, and now the person is like, well, no, because, even though our kids are grown, like I need help with this, or, I need a new car, so you need to stay longer and pay for this or do this for me. And I think that the I don't want to call it breadcrumbing. It's more like keeping someone on like a leash that they never actually sever the cord. They never actually set the person free. They never gain their freedom. And I think that went on for so long that finally this person is saying, oh my God, the truth is that will never end. They'll just keep doing this. And so the blockage has become an impasse unless I make a change. So and now they're realizing I always could have let this go. I always could have not allowed myself to feel compelled to pay them the money, stay and do what they said. I always could have left. It's like, snap, snap, put those ruby heels together. There's no place like home, and get on out of there. You always could do it, but they just didn't realize it until now. And it's because they had to get so tired of this prolonged agony of like, okay, what do I owe you now? Oh, you mean I can't leave yet? Okay, so I stay another year. Oh, or another month, or, whatever it is, another paycheck cycle. Finally, this character is going to be able to leave, even though they're going into the unknown. So the turning point was they'd had enough of it. The turning point was that 5 of Swords. This got very hostile, possibly between them, to the point where it was like, oh my gosh, it's almost like they ground everything down and they were actually creating more problems. Maybe they were creating more debt. Maybe it was like, instead of, I've already completed what I was supposed to, but now I'm still being hung on to. And maybe even somebody tried to create more debt to hang on to them. And it was like, oh, this is nothing but conflict now. This is terrible. This doesn't work at all. So really, things had to get 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Things had to get to the point where it was like, I don't even think that those two are going to end and part ways as friends. I think it's like, this is not okay. We have become, it's not a matter of honor or, trying to do right by each other or trying to make sure that we don't create chaos. Because actually, in pretending like they were going to, hold on a little bit longer and make everything and end nicely and give the bridezilla what she wanted, or the bridezilla was going to, play nice. It turns out they actually started to play worse and worse with each other. It was more and more sour. It was to the point where they're not going to make anything better by still interacting. So it was time to cut this out. And so really, it is like, you know, sometimes you gotta get down to the bottom of the barrel before you can realize where you are and say, okay, I'm here. That's it. This is a closed chapter now. So the only place to go is up, which is what they probably should have done a long time ago. Let's ask the universe. Overall message, 9 of Staves. Yeah, it's they learned lesson after lesson after lesson, and maybe they repeated the same lesson after lesson, but every time they got a little bit better until they're finally here. This is that wounded warrior. I've been on the battlefield all this time, but I'm finally I'm done fighting the battle, and now all I have to do is stand up and walk off the battlefield for that 10 of Wands, and that's when I lay this down. They had to get this fatigued, they had to get this tired before they were going to say no more. Truly no more. I already know there will be nothing more that we can accomplish. We're not going to get on better terms. We're not going to end things any nicer. It's time I go. So how about them moving toward that Queen of Wands? 6 of Sacred Circles. It's been a long time. This is a big old frozen tundra. If they return, it may be like they come on in, and you notice there's only one set of footprints here. Maybe this is saying she was ready a long time ago and they left season after season come and go, and now she's going to be pretty ice cold. They're going to want to come in and see if she'll give to them. This is a card of giving, but it's also it's going to start cold. She's not, even though she was warm and loving and they've kept that image of her in their mind, like I can feel her energy, I can feel that she calls to me. Well, guess what? They're going to show up and she's not going to be immediately all dialed into them. She may still want them, but she's going to be ice cold. But guess what? Because it's a twin flame and because the Temperance card is here, somehow, some way, they're going to be able to make this wintry, ice cold, barren landscape melt and thaw and wind up teeming with life again. Because this is their tree of life. So their life story was literally put on hold. The Two of Cups, their ability to come together, which would be the Queen of Wands and whomever this character is that we've been talking about all this time, whoever the little man was that was being dangled by the bank, their life story was put on hold. But this was the thing saying on hold doesn't mean over. And there is still time for them to have a story together, should they want it. This storyline says yes, they do. So they will have to thaw her out. They will have to thaw out this entire relationship. And it will be them that has to put in all the effort, only because there's only one set of footprints. But for their tree of life to actually grow the way it was always intended, that tree is still alive and well. It was just dormant for a while. It was just in hibernation period. So they still have this. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to keep this one kind of short and sweet. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you do enjoy my channel, if you're here watching, please do make sure that you give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel to grow and circulate. Please do subscribe. It lets me know that you guys like the channel and you want it to still be here, and I'll keep doing it. And I thank you all. If you're new, welcome. I am a fictional storyteller. I'm not a psychic. I don't tell you how life's going to go. I don't give you life advice. My stories are always to watch how the characters play things out, and so that we can observe them and maybe see new perspectives through their actions. I try really hard to dig into, like, you know, why are they doing what they do, so that we can get some interesting new food for thought. And I hope that it's as fun for you as it is for me. Thank you guys for being here. Bye.